What's up, guys? My name is JR, and this is Fight Talk. Today, I'll be talking about the results of Rafael Dos Anjos versus Eddie Alvarez for the lightweight title. Now, this happened in Las Vegas, Nevada, days away from UFC 200, and it was a crazy fight. Very exciting fight, guys. I predicted that Rafael was going to win this fight because I thought he had a better toolbox, a more diverse skill set, and he was a pressure fighter, right? Now, Eddie Alvarez is a very tough fighter. He's a tough fight for anybody that goes against him. He is a very grit fighter, a good wrestler, and he does pack a punch. Now, we saw Rafael Dos Anjos he's been on a roll. He's been looking very good. But being a pressure fighter is very hard to evade big punches. Being a pressure fighter, you're going to get hit with a crisp, clean shot. It's very likely, of course, if you're, a good defensive fighter, you might get around that. But it's very likely that you're going to get hit with a crisp shot because you're always going forward, and it's hard to evade those type of punches. Now, this fight was a very crazy fight. Like I said, right from the first round, we saw Dos Anjos being Dos Anjos, pressuring Eddie Alvarez to the cage, moving around, throwing combination, throwing kicks. Eddie Alvarez was doing very well as well, throwing inside kicks and throwing big punches. Now, Eddie Alvarez goes for a takedown, lands that takedown, and Dos Anjos, catches that neck. I thought this was going to be a submission win for Dos Anjos via guillotine, but Eddie Alvarez managed to get out of that guillotine and got up. Dos Anjos, being Dos Anjos, went for a takedown went to try to take down Eddie Alvarez down. Eddie Alvarez being a very, very good wrestler, of course. Stuffed that takedown, and then this is where the fight changed. This was a crazy, clean, crisp left hook to the chin of Dos Anjos. Both of Dos Anjos' knees buckle. He's wobbled, and this is when we see the dog out of Eddie Alvarez. The aggressiveness out of Eddie Alvarez. Eddie goes at him with everything he has. Dos Anjos basically runs to the other side of the octagon, and Eddie Alvarez is just throwing bombs up, top, bottom, doing very well. Rafael runs to the other side of the octagon, and Eddie throws a flying knee. Somehow Rafael lands. Somehow he falls down. Rafael lands on top of him, and Rafael has top guard, right? I was thinking, Eddie, by the time that happened, Eddie looked very tired because he was throwing, hard punches, everything he had, and he wasn't landing them all, of course. So, that really gasses you out. But somehow Eddie Alvarez gets up, basically just manhandles Rafael up, and tries to take Rafael down. He takes him down. Somehow Rafael gets up, and then from there he'll just teeing off on Rafael. Rafael was very badly hurt. He was very, he didn't go down after. I mean, it was takedowns, but he didn't go down. You get me? His chin surprisingly was holding up. You got to give props for Rafael. His chin was holding up. The ref ends up stopping it, and Eddie Alvarez wins via TKO. But Rafael Dos Anjos was, the ref stopped it when Rafael was, still standing up. But I think it was a very fair stoppage, a very good stoppage, because, Eddie Alvarez was just teeing off on him. Now, am I surprised? Surprised? Not at all. I thought if Rafael won, it was going to be unanimous decision. And I thought if Eddie Alvarez had a chance of winning, it was going to be via TKO because, like I said, Rafael's a pressure fighter, and you're going to get clipped. You're going to get caught, and the chin will be tested. And that's what Eddie Alvarez did, and won via TKO. Now, I wasn't that surprised because we saw Rafael lose via KO against Jeremy Stephens. So, once that chin's been cracked, it could be cracked again. Now, do I want to see a media rematch? Not necessarily. I don't think this is a rematch. I don't think it's going to happen that soon. I think There's other fights that could be made. I think Eddie Alvarez could go against Tony Ferguson, Nate Diaz, if all goes well for him against McGregor. And even if he loses against McGregor, I don't think that affects him in the lightweight division. I think he's still a big star, mega star, and that could be a fun fight. We got Michael Johnson, Dustin Poirier's been looking good, Michael Chiesa. There's a lot of fights for Eddie Alvarez and a lot of fights for Rafael Dos Anjos. Maybe Rafael goes against Diaz, make it Dos Anjos versus Diaz too. That would be an interesting fight, But my hats goes off to Eddie Alvarez. Very happy for him being a Bellator and UFC. I think the first to be a Bellator and UFC champion in both organizations. Very happy for Eddie Alvarez. He did very good. He did a good job. Looked very good. And it was a tough fight for Dos Anjos, but no doubt I think Dos Anjos will be back and better. He's an amazing fighter and a very tough fighter. Like I said, I think he still has a bigger toolbox. But Eddie got the best of him today, guys. Once again, this was JR. This is Fight Talk. I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. And if you want to subscribe for more videos, go ahead and subscribe, guys. Comment below on what are your opinions of this fight were, and who do you think should Eddie Alvarez fight next. I'll see you in the next video, guys.